Skip, if you go buy a car, you see it on the lot, and it says as is. You can't hope that, once you get it, that they're going to be able to add something or it's going to be something as is. You trade for Kyrie Irving, you accept him as is. Phenomenal basketball player. As skilled at the guard position as we've seen in all of NBA history. A 50, 40, 90 guy, Skip, you can shoot the three, mid-range, can finish with either hand at the rim. The English he can put on the basketball is second to none. Can handle the basketball. Handles are crazy. Could be a globetrotter and one. But there's another side of Kyrie that you're also going to have to deal with. And if you're okay with that, if you're okay with that side that comes along with the basketball player, by any means, take it.
Is that side, the other side, the predominant side? That's the question.
It seems to be now.
Yep.
Once upon a time, I'm sure he's always had these beliefs. I'm sure he's always had these theories. Maybe they're more to the forefront. Maybe he's gone this, as they like the term they like to use, an awakening. Maybe he had an epiphany or gone through a metamorphosis or whatever the case, whatever term you want to use. At the end of the day, Kyrie is what he is. Now, don't get this man and say, well, I didn't know he might blow off this or he might say that, because you got history that says this is what he's capable of doing. And if you're okay with that, by any means, trade for it. If the Nets are willing to part ways with him, it seems that they're more willing now to part ways with him.
I agree.
Because they've given this decree now, Skip. It wasn't enough that he apologized. Now they're trying to rob, I believe they're trying to rob the man of his dignity. They're trying to make him grovel to come and get his job back. And I don't agree with that. A man said he was sorry. Hey, I was wrong. Yeah, I would have liked to see him. Hey, I shared a link to my page. It was brought to my attention that I offended a group of people. And for that, I would like to say I'm sincerely sorry. That was not my intention. In the hope of trying to enlighten and educate my people, I was disrespectful, I was disparaging to another group of people. Could have said that, Skip, and maybe it wouldn't have gotten to this point. People would have been upset. But I think when you come out and you say, I'm sorry, I apologize, before you being forced to say I'm sorry or apologizing, people are more apt to say, okay, it's sincere. It wasn't until he was suspended, it wasn't until he had things taken away from him that all of a sudden he got it in him to say that I'm sorry. But Skip, Kyrie is what he is. So don't get this man and think you're going to get something that he's not.
No.
This is who he is.
Agreed. Which is why in the Athletic piece, they interviewed 11 team executives, and not one of them said, I would take Kyrie as is, as you say. Too many issues, and one GM is quoted as saying he's the opposite of a commodity now. Another says, I think Kyrie might not ever play again in the NBA. That one stopped me in my tracks. Seriously? There's not one team out there that say, well, yeah, we get it, but we see what he can still do, because he's been doing it this year already, right? I
mean, the guy's he's a 7-time All-Star, Skip. He's a 23-point, 6 assists in 12 seasons. That's what he's done. And we know the shot that he hit. We know he can dazzle. Skip, he can go get 50 at the drop of a hat. He can make 30 and get 30 in a array of shots, and when he does, you're like, that's unbelievable.
Okay, so here's what we also know about him away from basketball. Steve Nash gets hired, and both Kevin and Kyrie get interviewed. I think they're on the same podcast. And Kyrie goes so far as to say, we don't even need a coach. We can coach ourselves. Okay, so you know that's the issue going forward. Then he decides, I'm not going to get vaccinated, even if it tears my team apart and wrecks the season. And why won't you, Kyrie? I'm not going to tell you. We don't know. I still don't know to this day exactly what his stance was on no vax. Then he starts to call himself an artist. I'm operating on a level above all of you. You don't get where I'm operating up here, both on and off the court, to the point that I have things in my life that are much bigger than basketball. Cool, great, go. But don't take our now $37 million to be who you want to be, right? That was my whole issue with the link that he posted. You can tweet away. You can say whatever. You can get away with a lot of things in this country, except terrorist threats. But the point is, if you want to walk away from basketball and be some kind of a crusader or a groundbreaker or an original thinker, I'm all for that. but you can't do it representing the Brooklyn Nets in the NBA.
If somebody said, look, for me, I've never been, and I'm never going to be, that's something my grandfather always say, boy, never be too big to say, I'm sorry. Be too prideful to say that. Skip, if I say something, and I've had this, and it happened before, and it's like, I'm sorry. I mean, because sometimes when you say I'm sorry, it's like, I'm acquiescing. You hurt a group of people, or if you hurt someone.
Right, but you're not going to say you're sorry if you're not sorry.
But that's the thing. But that's the thing. And if you're not sorry, just don't say anything. Just keep it moving.
That's where we got. And finally, Kyrie, as he goes into the midlife of his basketball career, he has not been able to stay healthy, and he will not play hurt. He's not going to play through an injury like some of the old school players would.
Well, I think the thing was, Skip, it happened in Cleveland. He kind of was playing through that knee, and the knee finally went out in the NBA Finals, that overtime, Skip. And I think from that point on, it takes a special type of person, Skip, to play with a dean. Because you're not doing it anymore. You can't harm it any worse than what it is. But can I help it?
He fractured his kneecap.
Yeah. Can I help it?
It was bad.
It was. And so for me, Skip, look, like I said, he's a phenomenal talent. He's as good. And I love Kyrie the player. It's the other things that you have to embrace. Because if playing basketball was always about, Skip, every other team would line up to take him. But they know there's so much more that comes along with said player.
I was under the assumption that it was a done deal, that at least by next year, when he becomes free, that he's bound for L.A. and he wants to reunite with LeBron and make it right. I walked away too soon. I was too young. I was too immature. I didn't get it. The grass was not greener, so to speak, in Boston.
Right.
And let me have a do-over with LeBron. I thought it was a done deal that next year, as LeBron goes into year 21, it just like the perfect way out here for the Lakers.
Right.
And now this story says it's quite clear that the Lakers are highly unlikely, if not impossible, as a landing spot.
Yeah.
If not impossible as a landing, you're kidding.
Well, they got a big population of the people that was offended by what he posted out here in L.A. And that's the thing, Skip. Look, and like you said, you can tweet or say whatever you want, but just understand the ramifications that comes along with that. And if you're okay with the handle that backlash, you just can't. And people that are in business and people that do certain things understand. You can't just willy-nilly say whatever I want. I'm free to this, I'm free to do that. If you do that, Minister, you don't understand the work environment. You don't understand a situation that we're in, because you just can't. You cannot.
Okay, you're free to do it as long as you don't represent the Brooklyn Nets and the National Basketball Association.
If if you do your own thing, if you built up that type of cachet, that type of capital, that I can say and tweet and do whatever I want, and I don't care. I don't need anybody because I got enough money. I got enough. What's the color? Financial freedom. You got financial freedom, or you got that. Okay, fine, do that. But there are not very many people that can willy-nilly just say and do what they want, and not be able to, like, the ramification would be crippling.
I have been the biggest Kyrie fan, but I got to tell you, if I were a GM right now, I'm just not sure he really wants to keep playing basketball. And because of that, do I want to risk paying him a lot of money?
Well, Skip, if it's the trade, well, I mean, if you wait till at the end of the year, or if they release him, I don't think the Brooklyn Nets are going to release him. Maybe they gave him this manifesto, Skip, of what they want him to. I'm like, now come on, now y'all go look.
Like 6 things.
Y'all going. Y'all this. It's kind of like you build a relationship, and the other party say, well, okay, I need you to do this. I said I was sorry, but that's not enough. No. Now I need to rob you of something to put you, to let you know. Because Skip, I need to. Right now, what Brooklyn's trying to do, they're trying to put him in front of all the world to see. You see what happens? If you do this, others, this is what could possibly happen to you. I don't agree with that, Skip. I think for me, that's a bit much. And I've been very critical of Kyrie. But I think what Brooklyn is doing now, that's a bit much.
Okay, so they're forcing maybe his hand. Does he want out? Does he want to get cut? Are we heading in that direction?
Well, I think
it's feeling like it to me.
Well, the thing is that, no, if y'all want to pay me my money to go home, okay, I'll do that. That's
Well,
what I do.
I don't think they want to pay him another nickel. Like
Oh,
this.
absolutely not. But I don't know how they can't get out from under that, Skip. I don't think he's done anything. I don't think he's done anything to breach his contract. I don't think he was wrong. I believe he was wrong. Other people don't believe he was wrong. Personally, I believe that he was wrong for what he said. But I don't believe that is a breach. That is a breach of contract that says I'm going to take $30+ million from the man. Nah, hell no.
Well, bottom line, I viewed him as your savior to come out here at least next year as a free agent. If they're right about this reporting, and they're usually right, then there's no way.
Skip, somebody going to take him.
I would think somebody would take a shot.
Now, I don't know if he'll get that $50 million because the guy of Kyrie, he could be in line 5 years, $250 million. I don't believe he gets that. But
was he going to have to take some mid-level exception?
No, I don't know if he take a mid-level exception. I think he'll get close to what he was. Or can he get 25, 30 million?
I don't know. I would say a big no to that.